set of key practices as you were challenging beautifully yesterday. Thank you for that. One of my practices is to get minimum 7 hours of sleep every day. I wouldn't be able to travel as I do unless I kept my practice of sleep. So I don't know what your practices are, but pick those and amplify them, or do them with more sincerity, is my suggestion. Because I call it getting comfortable with being in nowness, just to be present, right here now. Everything else is just there, but where are you? And this presence doesn't come for free anymore in the world. As kids we have it, we're born with it, and somehow we can disappear from it. And it's quite hard to stay present in chaos and in challenges and when you're afraid. So if you have practices that helps you center, it's a gift. You can use it for anything. It makes good sense for hosting too. And I think it's the time where, and I think also in Singapore, everywhere in the world, that we begin to respect this for each other. There are now places, I've been working in big banks in Europe, where meditation practice, Aikido, Tai Chi practice, is allowed during work hours in the main central bank of ABN AMRO Bank in Amsterdam, honored and sponsored by the president and the vice president of ABN AMRO. Schools have silent rooms. So it's beginning. A moment of quiet. Second practice, allow yourself to be hosted. Which some of you were saying yesterday you're really enjoying, and so do I. It's just lovely every once in a while. It's not me that's on. I can be the student. I can be the happy participant in my own and the collective learning. And I think it's a beautiful thing. I don't know if you have much practice in facilitating other facilitators. But if facilitators, we get into our egos and our, we know better. It's the worst group to facilitate, or teachers having to teach other teachers. So this is, maybe you could say this is the practice of humility, just to keep, I called it this morning, enjoy the student within. The learner, this little kid inside each of our hearts that just loves to learn. And I think this
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
Are these what you're offering us as practices that we can put it in practice to be good practitioners of hosting?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, to me, this is the essence of it. From this, you can then have all the methodologies and all the things. But if this is something that's happening consciously and intentionally, it will give you a different strength than just learning the techniques. So thank you for asking that question. That's exactly it. I'm just suggesting. And I think we're all doing them already, but having them made conscious, you can do it more intentionally. If you so choose, your choice. Third practice, step up to host and harvest. So that's already begun in this particular setting. But this is the courage to not wait. The Danish queen, she has this beautiful thing. She speaks to the people every year, and she said this incredible thing to awaken some more collaboration in our, in our people of 5 million people. Some years ago, when the diversity was, people were fighting. So she said, maybe the reason for all the disharmony and the wars in the world is because of the conversations that never took place. That never took place. So somebody has to call these conversations. It may be you. It may be somebody else. But if something is wrong, instead of trying to blame somebody else, you could call a conversation. post it, you could harvest it, you could work together. So this is stepping up to contribute courageously. And I think the strength of how you will step up will be built with these two other practices. Many people want to get skillful facilitators, but they don't tend to their own selves or their own students. And so the strength of your facilitation is not authentic, in my humble opinion. So the last practice is to host each other. Or we could say, yesterday I think we spoke about it as the art of co-creation, or as some of the young social innovators I work with, they call it co-working. We used to call it working together. And I think right now, before my mother passed away 2 years ago, she was a wise old Danish elder woman, and she gave this little inspiration to Monica and me, but I think she spoke to the whole human species, just as an unassuming school teacher in Denmark. And she said, "It is the time now to work together like never before." And I think we are just preparing. Whether it is tsunamis or the breakdown of systems or whatever it all is, we are being attacked because of our own unconscious behavior, and we are now 7 billion on the planet. And we are all here, and we all have the right to be here. Nobody has more than nobody else. So co-working, co-creating, co-hosting, to me is not a luxury. It's the best investment. And I have found that hosting myself, being hosted well, participating well in what's being hosted that you want to be part of, being willing to step up, and then begin to live and exercise this muscle of being in co-creation, allows it rises up to become one thing. So it's not just for practices, it actually is completely natural. And I have found it, which is why I'm just suggesting it, that practicing these things with intention and heart allows me to stay conscious, even in the midst of chaos and fear, confusion, and conflict. And I have been allowed to teach this to First Nation Indians in Canada, and elders have heard this teaching. I was very afraid to teach it in front of them. They kept quiet and watched. But one of them said to me, "Toke, thank you very much for bringing this back, because this is how we used to work. But even we, the First Nation people of this area, of the tribal area, have forgotten. Some of us still do it in our ceremonies, but where it really counts, we don't. And so I don't claim ownership of this. I have no ego around it. I just find that these practices is a mandala. They make sense, and I hope they make sense to you. I don't suggest that we need to discuss it. This is an invitation to practice. If you want to be challenging it or discussing it, I'm available for those kind of conversations and breaks. But I hope that you receive it as a gift rather than an intellectual concept. And so when people ask me what is the art of hosting, I basically say it's a practice. And sometimes that's all I describe. And then people say, what about methodologies? And I say, well, you can know 15 methodologies and you can create your own. But maybe when it's attached to this kind of thing, something else can arise. And it gives you a freedom of choice. Like some of you had those questions yesterday. When do you use what process? If you only get attached to the methodologies, you're stuck with that. this is underlined. Make sense? Yes.
Just now you were saying you need to be present, right? If I understand you correctly, the strength of your facilitation is not realized because you didn't take care of yourself.
Well, this is part of my
Sorry, Toke, could you please repeat the question? I didn't actually hear.
You couldn't hear the
Oh,
question.
okay. Because just now I think I missed something. So Toke was saying that we need to be present, we need to practice, and the strength of our facilitation is not realized because we didn't take care of ourselves and student. Did I catch it correctly?
yes, and I'm saying you don't have to. It's helpful to be more conscious. And what I have seen, and I think you spoke something yesterday in check-in I noticed, which I have had exactly the same. I was so focused on getting the project done and the work for the course that I lost my own ground. And I stopped learning. My student became small, and I didn't really get my sleep and my centering and my fresh air and my good food. And after 10 months of this, I crashed. So it's also a little warning that maybe there is a balance to be kept here, and you'll have to work with it in your own way. But please don't take it as rules. These are deep, deep invitations, I think, from, I can hear my grandmother speaking when I get to this. Anyway, thank you. Happy you the effort is to listen and allow.